I am a volunteer with the Trafficking Survivors Group in Dhaka. I help to create a dignified place for survivors in our society and work towards their betterment. Having been a victim of trafficking myself, I want to help others from falling into the same trap. It was extremely painful for me at the beginning to share my story, but it is easier now since I realized that knowing about my experiences can help to save lives. My name is Bilkis and I am from Bangladesh. Among 5 daughters, I was the firstborn. My parents never sent me to school. There was not enough money. My mother needed my help with looking after my younger siblings. However, I was happy till my father decided to marry me off to an older man. I was just 16. The man did not want dowry. For my father, it would mean one less mouth to feed. A man had been visiting our home many times. He helped my family with money and gifts. He offered to get me a good job across the border. I was excited and happy. I would be able to send money home to my family. I would not have to marry against my will. I decided to live with the man. He said he would make the travel arrangements. I did not inform my parents. I traveled with the man by bus. I had never been outside my village. I had no phone with me. Even if I had one, who would I call to let them know where I was? My family found out I had left, but they did not go to the police. They were afraid of the stigma. We reached the border. The man told me to lie to the policeman that we are married and going across the border for his medical treatment. I felt scared. Was I doing the right thing? I was not sure. The man gave me sweets and chocolates along the way. I tasted a chocolate ice cream bar for the first time in my life. Across the border, I was attracted to the tall buildings and the beautiful shops. By now, the man had stopped answering my questions. He warned me to never tell anyone that I am from Bangladesh. He said I would be put in jail for coming across the border illegally. I was really scared now. I wanted to call my parents. I wanted to go back home. The man kept me in a small hut. It was dirty. One morning, the man said it was time to begin my new job. We traveled by train and then by bus. I had no idea where we were going. All I could think was how far away I was from home. On reaching our destination, the man told me to wait and left me in a strange place. The man did not return for a long time. I realized the man had sold me into a sex brothel in Kolkata. I was tortured and abused. My spirit was completely broken. I felt helpless. I had no hope and no friend. The only thing that kept me going was I was able to send money home from what I earned as tips. During a police raid, I was rescued and taken to a shelter home. When I was asked where was home, I lied and told them I was from West Bengal in India. I thought they would put me in jail if I told them I was from Bangladesh. They did not believe me. They said I was illegal and sent me to a correction home. I wanted to go home, so I gathered courage and told them the whole story about being brought across the border. They sent me to a shelter home. They promised to send me home soon, but days become months and then years. I have been in the shelter for more than 2 years. They said the delay was because they could not find my address in Bangladesh. I was not being able to send any money home, and this troubled me. If I was back home, I could have done some odd jobs to earn money. Finally, the day came when I could return home. My spirits lifted. I thought being with my family would heal me. But my family refused to accept me. They were afraid of the stigma of being shunned by the villagers for having a daughter who had spent time at a brothel. The villagers mocked me. I'm still alone and sad. I now spend time at an institution for destitute women. Maybe I should not have come back.
Missing Child Alert aims to respond to the grave issue of child trafficking and the missing children in South Asia by making use of technology to design interventions that encompass the entire scope of trafficking. That is, protection and prevention of vulnerable communities at source and in transit, rescue, repatriation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of the victims of trafficking, advocating legal and policy reform. The proposed solutions include protection and appropriate awareness campaigns targeted at identified vulnerable groups, focusing on what to know and what to do, multiple ports for reporting missing children, gathering civil intelligence so that any suspicious activity involving children can be acted upon, dissemination of information to state agencies, law enforcement agencies, and civil society to raise awareness in a child trafficking case, uniform case management system to expedite repatriation to home country, effective rehabilitation and reintegration.